I'm Lieutenant Commander Neil Davidson. I'm one of the Merlin instructors on the OCF, teaching Navy pilots as they come through to fly the Merlin Mark III. We take a mixture of retread pilots from Sea King and also ab initio pilots from the training pipeline straight through. There are numerous challenges. Obviously, the younger guys coming straight through training are learning to fly a much bigger aircraft than they've been used to. The Sea King pilots are now coming across where they've been flying older technology with analog dials, and we're now bringing them onto a bigger or a slightly bigger aircraft, but bringing in much more modern technology, glass cockpits and digital displays. So the actual flying the aircraft, it's very similar to a Sea King. All the controls do the same thing. It's just looking at how they interact with the aircraft and how they look at the displays and how they can have the displays configured for different scenarios, whether it's instrument flying, whether it's low level, or whether it's on the MVG, or even dust landings, snow landings. So that's the challenges we've faced with the Sea King pilots and the retrainees. With the ab initios, it's bringing them into the bigger aircraft. They've done a lot of the skill sets whilst going through training, confined areas, low level instrument flying. It's just now making that into the bigger aircraft and teaching them to be much more aware of the size of the aircraft they've got, the tail, and operating in a much bigger crew concept. We have 2 crewmen in the back of the Merlin, so it's twin pilot, 2 crewmen crew concept. So looking at how they interact as a crew. Okay. Currently, we just come to the end of Merlin Storm. This is the culmination of their training. We bring the guys to operate in the field, whereas previously they've all operated from a found base. We're now making it's slightly more austere, working with troops and a much bigger tactical scenario. So looking at a war footing, really. They've full intelligence that they have to think about how they're going to conduct the exercise, how they're going to conduct their training, get a mission completed within the bounds of the tactical scenario that we've set. They have air threats, they have airspace reservations they have to avoid, whilst actually operating with the live troops that we've got here on the Salisbury Plain. We've got 4 or 5 Commando who've come down from Arbroath. They've driven down specifically to take part in this exercise, which has been fantastic for the guys going through training. It's allowed them to operate and exercise with live troops, and therefore, rather than just simulating the fact that they're heavy by putting more fuel, they've actually got the full weight of the aircraft. So they're operating a much heavier aircraft and having to think about how they handle it and how they can actually achieve the aim, but without overstressing the aircraft. They'll complete the training on the OCF. The majority of them will be actually converting across to 846 Squadron and then back to Yeovilton in March, April time. There are a few of them that will be running on 28 Squadron, which is currently an Air Force squadron, but working for the Commando Helicopter Force, and that converts across to 845 Squadron in the middle of next year, middle of 2015, when it becomes 845 Naval Air Squadron.